Welcome back to the Grace Cycle Show. I'm your host, Karen Dittman, and our goal here is for you to stop trying harder in your relationship with God and find a different way to grow through His grace. In today's episode, I have another special interview with my friend Annette. But before we get started, I wonder, do you feel sometimes like your life is like a hamster wheel that you're running on and it just won't stop? If so, I have created a quiz that might help you called How Fast is Your Hamster Wheel Spinning? It will only take you about 50 seconds. You can find it at hamster.onefit-wellness.com or just click on the link in the show notes. And this quiz will help you to see what's spinning your hamster wheel, how it's impacting you, and what you can do to help slow it down. Today, I'm going to interview my friend Annette Lambert. I have known Annette since 2021 when she signed up for a class that Michael and I led through our book, The Fruit of Gratitude. And since then, Annette has participated in many of the programs I've offered. She has become a dear friend of mine. We met in person about 2 years ago when she attended a retreat that I hosted in Winter Park, Colorado. And I'm really hoping to be able to do this graceful rest retreat again in the future, but God just hasn't given me the go-ahead yet. In the beginning of her career, Annette served for 2 years in the Peace Corps in the Philippines, which then launched her into a career in government service. She retired in 2021 from the Forest Service, and she continues to participate actively in a local chapter of the organization Worklight, formerly Christians in Commerce. Annette lives in California with Kurt, her husband of 32 years, and they have one adult daughter. Annette, welcome to the Grace Cycle Show. I'm so glad you were able to join me today for this.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Karen.
You're welcome. I wanted to start by just asking you if you could share a story with us about how you have seen God's grace show up in your life, maybe even overcoming something that seemed impossible to you.
Okay, I'm going to start a couple years before I retired back in 2020. So that was a rough year for the world, as we all know.
Mhm.
I was still working and being in public service. As soon as COVID hit, we had to close the forest down, and people were mad,
Mhm.
rightly so. I mean, why can't you go in the great outdoors? We're not allowed to go anywhere else. Why can't we go in the great outdoors? So I was getting phone calls from people and they'd be yelling at me and when are you going to open the world back up? And I had a lot of patience with them. I listened to them. I was like, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. I didn't close it, so I can't open it. And then, fast forward a few months in September of 2020, my forest that I worked on, the biggest fire we've ever had started.
Mm.
So people were still angry. Now they really couldn't go to the forest. And I was still getting calls, people yelling at me and this and that. And I just listened to them and I had a lot of patience. And then 2021 was spent basically, I was very stressed out and it was just spent helping people get things starting to get things rebuilt because we lost a lot of infrastructure, some of the power companies and phone companies and a lot of cabins were lost. And so I was just trying to help get the ball rolling on that so people could get moving on permits and all that. And then December 31st of 2021 came along, and that was my last day. I walked out the door and never looked back. And I think I slept about 12 hours that night, and I woke up pretty rested and just like the world had been taken off of my shoulders. I just felt so light and carefree, and it's like, this is a wonderful feeling. So my husband and I, he also retired at the same time. He actually got to retire a few days before me, so he had a few days of retirement on me. And then we went over to the coast. I live in California, so we went over to, I think we went to Monterey and spent a week there and just enjoyed it. And knowing that we didn't have to come back home and go back to work. Because as you know, when you go on vacation and then you come back, it's like you need another vacation before you go back to work to recover from your vacation. Well,
Yes.
we didn't
Yes.
have that anymore.
Yay.
So, just a little background on my husband. He had a back surgery and had 4 plates and 8 screws put in his spine, lower spine, about 3 months before we got married back in 1993. So he'd been doing really well. And towards the end, before we retired, I know it was getting hard on him. And he's a few years older than me. And I always wished he would have retired before me, but that was his choice. Can't make decisions for him. We got back from our vacation and he had his lower left leg. It was very swollen and red. So I'm like, you better go to the doctor and get that checked out. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but he was concerned as well. And when he went through all these tests, they told him he had a blood clot in the back of his knee.
Wow.
So we went through that year. I think we went on a couple more vacations, trips to the coast, and he was having a hard time with his back and walking, and I was okay with that because that's just the way it goes. I knew as we got older, as we aged, his back he wouldn't be able to do the same things he used to be able to do. Well, I got 22, yeah. So in 22, I wanted to get my marriage blessed in the Catholic Church. I'm Catholic, and because we got married by just a non-denominational pastor, and he was always very supportive of that because I had mentioned it like years ago, and he's like, "Well, just whenever you want to do it, just let me know." And we finally did that in the summer of 22. And I really thank him for that because this had nothing to do with him. He got nothing out of it. It was all for me. It's just like, what a sweetheart.
That is sweet.
It is sweet. And then, we went through the rest of that year. The following year, 2023, we went through some ups and downs, trying to work on the house and get a lot of things done. And it cost money. I had started working again for the Forest Service, just very limited, enough to put some spending money in our pockets. So, because once you retire, the money coming in is not as much. We knew that. So, in was it last year? Yeah, last year, 2024, he decided if he got some walking sticks, that he could probably walk better because he wanted to go places with me and enjoy walking. So we've got some really nice wildlife refuges close by, day trips from our home.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that, and he could get so far. He was up to about 2 miles, but I could tell by the look on his face that he was not enjoying it very much.
Mm.
And then we did that 3 or 4 times, and I'm just like, I can't make him do this anymore. He wanted to do it because he wanted to spend time with me. And I get that because when I'm not falling and spraining my ankles, I can do pretty good. So it probably started about then. I was just getting really perturbed, not necessarily with him, but with myself, because I wasn't accepting of his physical decline, basically. I mean, he can still do things for himself. He does his own laundry. He can get his own food. I mean, he's not an invalid or anything like that. I'm going on a vacation for 3 weeks here, and he'll be perfectly fine. He can take care of himself. But I was just getting really bitter. It's like, dang it, why? Why? And my prayers to God were more demanding. It's like, I want you to fix him. I want you to make him well, so we can do all this stuff that we had planned on doing when we retired. We were going to go on, I don't know, all kinds of cruises and train rides and all that. And he's just like, I don't think I can go on a boat because it's not a smooth ride. Trains aren't smooth rides. And he drove for his career, so he doesn't really like driving long distances much anymore. So I was just getting really, really mad. And it's like, why? Why? What is happening to me? So I'm just like, God, what's going on? And just as time has gone on, he's just helped me soften my heart towards
Mm.
the situation. I mean, I've always loved my husband. There's nothing wrong there. And it's nothing that there's nothing he can do about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just our bodies are getting older and they just don't do as much. And with all that hardware in his back, and then he's just having more issues with his spine in general, and it's just I can't fix him. And that was making me really angry. So that's why I had these angry prayers to God. It's like I don't even know if I want to call them prayers. kind of yelling at him. It's like, fix him, do it now. What's wrong? You know?
Yeah.
And I just realized over time, it didn't happen overnight, that's for sure. But as time has gone on, I mean, he's still working on me, but I've just softened my heart towards it. It's like, this is our life and this is okay.
Mhm.
I still go on my trips back east to visit my family once a year. He's very supportive of that. He doesn't try to stop me. He's never tried to stop me doing it. His family lives here, so we're close enough to them. We see them fairly often. So it's just been a work in progress. I'm still working on it, but I used to not have a lot of patience with him at all. But now it's like when he feels like doing something, I drop what I'm doing because I want to help him. It's like we've been fixing up the yard and doing things, and he's like, I feel like doing this today. And it's like, okay, not out loud. I'm like, okay, I'm looking at my calendar. It's like, well, I had these things to do, but I can push those off to another day.
Mm.
So I can go out and help him. And he lasts a few hours and then he's like, I can't do anymore. I'm like, that's fine. Go inside. I'll clean up. I'll finish. I'll clean up. And it used to make me mad to do that, but now it's like I don't care. So it's like that's what it is. He worked long enough. I can accept that. So it's been, I think while we were both still working, we were both so busy, I didn't pay much mind to it. It just then all of a sudden it's like we're not working and we're together all the time. And so now I'm seeing all these things that have been happening to him over the years. It's like it hit me all at once. They were gradual for him.
Mm.
He worked
Yeah.
nights and I worked days, so didn't see a lot of each other. Yes, we
And
took a
yet your
week over to the
marriage
coast.
and your
So
marriage stayed intact. Your
we're
marriage stayed
still
stable.
we're
Yes.
still married, and yeah, that
Mm.
I don't see that I don't see that being undone.
Yes.
So
Yes.
don't like the D word, but we're fine. We help each other out. And then I had a hard time when I sprained my ankle a few months ago, and it was really bad. And I had a hard time letting him help me.
Hmm.
And he's doing it because he said that's I have to do it because you can't. And so with God softening my heart and just helping me with the grace part of it,
Right.
I just after a couple of days I'm like, okay, I'll just sit here and enjoy it while I can.
Right. Right.
So yeah, it's been a journey, a
Hmm.
retirement journey, but like I said, it hit me all at once. But I'm in a good place right now. I'm in a good place. He's still working on me. Nothing's perfect,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
it's a lot better than it was. I have a lot more patience. I'm still working on the patience. I don't have a lot of patience with myself.
Mm.
I don't know why it's so hard with family.
Yeah.
Like like when I was working and those people were yelling at me because you need to open the world up back for us. Like I had patience with them and I'd come home and I had no patience with my family. It's like,
Mm.
I had a rough day. I don't want to deal with your stuff. But now it's just
Right.
like I learned over time, it's like, why do we do that to ourselves? The people we love
Mm.
and we're around all the time, it's like we have the least grace and
Mm.
patience with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So God has been really working on that with me.
Mm.
I've come a long way. So
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about how you talked about having patience with the people who are calling you and yelling at you, and it's in a sense it's easy to have understanding for their frustrations. I'm sure you were frustrated also that you couldn't do anything about letting people into the forest where you wanted to be able to have people come in, right?
well, yeah, I mean it was summer
Hmm.
and people had reservations and they were being canceled on and why can't you just let them open their doors and let us in? It's like it's not us, it's the state, it's the government, not
Hmm.
our government, the state government, because the
Right.
government shut us down pretty quick. I think he was
Yeah,
the first one. I think we were the first state to totally shut down
I think so. Yeah, California did move really fast and aggressively on those shutdowns,
very aggressively. And as
and
everybody
regardless.
knows, it's like, did it really help that we did it that way? It's like we worked backwards. I don't.
Right. Right.
We'll never know, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unfortunately, many people died because of COVID, but
Mm-hmm.
so maybe it was the right thing to do. I don't know. Nobody
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah. And of course, I think about how I talk in the grace cycle about being reconciled with the things that we can't change through acceptance. There was
Hmm.
nothing anybody could do unless somebody could go, convince the governor to see things differently, but it just is what it is. And
It
so,
is what it is, and you mentioned the grace cycle and acceptance, and I'm still trying to accept my thing I chose, which I told you was distraction.
mm-hmm.
That's why I fell the last time and sprained my ankle. I was
Oh.
distracted by a little chicken off to the side of the trail. Go
Yes,
figure. There's so
right.
many distractions in our lives today, and I'm truly working on limiting them. And it's the first go around with the left ankle, I didn't do so well. With the right one, I'm doing a lot better. It's like
Mm,
I pick up a book and read. I don't need to scroll anything on the
right.
computer.
That's good.
When I have decent books, I have a lot of books to read. I mean,
Mm.
you can see that's one shelf. I got two more on the other side just full of books. So it's not like
Oh,
there's a
that's
shortage of things to read.
right.
You know,
Right.
yeah, fiction,
Yeah.
Christian, I got them all. So
Yeah.
really working on that distraction.
Good. It's interesting because a lot of us have a tendency, like, you could have gone, that stupid chicken. Why did that chicken have to be there? But you also was like, through acceptance, you're like, well, I was the one who was distracted, and I have to accept this about myself that I am easily distracted. But you didn't like turn around and go, that stupid chicken. Or maybe you
Well,
did.
I
I don't
didn't
know.
dwell on it. I
Yeah.
said something a little worse than stupid, but because I was in pain and I'm laying in the dirt.
Of course.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but now I can laugh about it. I think the very next day I was laughing. Actually,
Mhm.
that night after Kurt and I got home, I said, "You know why I fell? I saw this little mini rooster. I've never seen anything like that before.
Mhm.
He's out on next to a busy street. It's like, what in the heck is he doing there?" And my brain just went
Yeah.
trying to figure out what his story was and stopped paying attention to where my feet were going, and
Mhm.
down
Hmm.
I went.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like, even though that was a momentary distraction, it was a pretty
Mhm.
drastic one.
Right.
So
Right.
I got home, I picked up some books. I'm doing different things that I can do instead of mindless distractions.
Mm. Mm. That's great.
I mean,
That's
there's
great.
there's good distractions, right? But
Right.
the ones I'm having problem with are the mindless distractions that
Mhm.
don't really have any place in my life, or I don't want them to have any place in my life. So I know
Mhm.
we've talked before about the brain, it does what it does, and that's exactly what mine did with the little
Mhm.
chicken. The sky is
Uh,
falling.
Annette is falling.
Yeah, not the sky, and it fell, but it was a
Yes.
little chicken.
It was a little chicken, chicken little.
So,
Yeah. And that you talked about how hard it is. It's one thing to have patience with people who are out there being frustrated and taking it out on you. And then it's a little bit harder, especially after dealing with that all day, to have patience with the family at home. But then it's even harder to have patience inside with myself, isn't it?
yeah, and I'm still not there yet. I'm not there
Mm-hmm.
yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thankfully, I have more patience with Kurt now than I've ever had before.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to 2020, by June, my daughter had enough and she moved out. But she had been working. She graduated college the year before, and she'd been working, and she wanted to save up enough money. And June 2020 came, and she had enough money, and she was out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really happy for her, but I was sad to see her go.
Right. Right.
But she's doing well now and never looked back.
That's good. That's good.
So,
Yeah, that's great when we see our kids launch and take off and do well and
mhm,
and move forward with what they're looking for in life.
right.
Yeah.
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 So,
So, well, you're learning, you're growing, and God is filling you with his grace all the time. I've watched it. I've seen you change so much over the years that we've known each other. I've seen so much growth.
Yeah, I think when I first met you was your online fruit of gratitude with Michael,
Mhm.
and that was right towards the end, right before I retired. It was
It
that year.
was. Mm-hmm. It was.
I started a couple other programs that year too, and it's like, why am I doing this? I don't have time for this, but it's like somebody upstairs was prompting me. It's like, you need to do
Yes.
this. You
Yeah.
need to do this. It was a good distraction.
It was a good
And
distraction.
it took me a while to accept his grace and his love. And my life is in a shambles. Why don't you fix it? But my prayers have softened quite a bit since then.
Yeah, I've seen that. And I know we've even talked about how easy it is to get distracted in prayer when our
Hmm.
minds go everywhere. And that's true for so many people. We sit down to pray and suddenly I'm working on the grocery list in my head.
Yeah, well, and that's
That's,
his way of prompting us to stop
mhm.
that and
Yeah,
come back
yeah,
and spend our time with him that we have
yes,
allotted to spend.
yes, yes. I'll ask you, is there anything that you found that helps you with prayer in your prayer time and all the distractions or the mind wandering?
Well, I definitely need quiet.
Hmm.
Um, I really find it hard to pray at home, and I don't know why. I mean, we've got other rooms I can go into if Kurt's watching TV or, he's in the other room. But
Hmm.
I like my chair. I like to sit in my chair. I do my morning Bible studies in my chair.
Hmm.
I never know if he's going to be up or not, but I'm in my office now with the door closed. I can come in here. Got a
Hmm.
fairly comfortable chair.
Yeah.
But I do my best praying when I actually go to church.
Mm. Yeah. I think that's a really good tip is to find a place where my brain goes to, I'm going to focus on God. For you, it's going to church and being in church. For me, I've got a chair in the corner of my bedroom where that's where I sit and pray. And my brain has just started to learn to be quiet. And when I'm sitting there,
Hmm. Yeah, if you have a special spot
hmm.
and you know that's what you're going to do there, I think our brains will calm down for us.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
my church is open. They have the doors open 5 days a week during office hours because the office is right there. So they have a mass every day, but you can also go in basically from 8 to 5 or 6 in the
Mm.
evening. The doors are open and you can go in.
Yes. That is really wonderful to have a church that's just always open, always has
It's
that sacred space that you can go into whenever you need.
Yeah, and there's been times where I've been out walking and I just find myself, oh, there's church. I think I'll go in for a little bit.
Mm. That's beautiful. That's
So
great.
it's where I feel the most comfortable, where I know my brain will allow me to concentrate on prayers because there's so many prayers are needed out
Hmm. So many. Yeah. Yeah. And you are one of my friends that I think of as somebody who prays a lot and prays for other people, intercedes a lot. So,
there. I certainly try.
yes.
I I'll be honest, I don't pray every day,
Hmm.
but that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There's grace for that, right?
Yeah, there is. I used to was like, why can't I just find 5 minutes to sit down and pray? And it's like, well, sometimes I forget,
Hmm.
but I don't beat myself up over these things anymore.
That's good.
Like and if I do, it's momentary, and I'm like, it's just the way it is. God
Right.
understands.
Right.
People
Yes.
might not understand, but God does. He's the one that matters.
And how many people are really looking into your brain to find out how often you're praying anyway,
You
right?
know, I just mentioned this to somebody the other day. It's like, you do not want to be in my brain. You do not want to get in there.
Yeah.
You'll hear the ramblings of Chicken Little.
That's great. Well, Annette, if there is one thing that you would want people to take away from our conversation, and one thing you want people to remember, what would it be?
It would be to have patience with yourself.
Mm,
Allow yourself to have patience with yourself. I mean, we can't do everything, we can't do it all. Everybody's plates are so full.
hmm.
God has patience with us and He gives us grace. Why can't we give ourselves grace and be patient with ourselves?
Mm,
And I'm learning this like on the fast track with my ankle injury issues.
hmm.
So just have patience. I mean, they're not going to heal overnight. So the left one, I was beside myself, but the right one is just like, okay, it is what it is.
Mm,
It's going to take time to heal. And
right.
that's life. That's the way it goes. And
Right.
the only person putting pressure on me is me to get stuff done. And it's like, why?
Mm, yeah.
Why do I have to do it now? I need to scrub the tub. I can't do it right now. It'll wait till after I get back from vacation. So that's
Mm,
just the way it goes.
right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, have patience with yourself and give yourself grace and just, live your life and don't trip up over those things.
Mm, yeah. Good word. Thank you. Thank you so much, Annette, for sharing your story. And I hope that this really blesses and encourages other people
Yeah,
to,
so do I.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I was shocked when I got your message.
I know you well enough that I knew you'd have a good story to share. So
I
thank
got lots
you.
of stories, so
Yes.
but I
Yes. That's
figured this
great.
this one fits right in with your grace cycle. So
Hmm. Yeah. Good. Thank you. Well, I hope you have a wonderful trip and enjoy your time with family. And, the tub won't scrub itself, but you can always take care of that when your ankle's better when you're back, right?
exactly. It'll still be
Yes.
there when I get back. So
Yes. Yes.
it's not yelling at me to do it. So why
Right.
am I yelling at me to?
Yes. All right. Well, thank you again, Annette.
Okay, thank you, Karen.
So that's it for today. I really hope that my conversation with Annette encouraged you and has sparked some thoughts in you about maybe how you can have more patience with yourself. And I just want to offer once again, if maybe you're struggling with having patience with yourself or even figuring out where to start and all that, you could get clear on where to start by taking my quiz, How Fast Is Your Hamster Wheel Spinning? It's a 50-second quiz. You can find it at hamster.onefit-wellness.com or click on the link in the show notes. And the quiz and its results will help you figure out your next step to thrive by living in grace. So that's it for today. Would you please take a second to subscribe to the show so you'll be notified when future episodes come out? And also, it would mean the world to me if you would rate or review the show, and that way more people can find out about it. Until next time, get curious, stay connected, and live in grace.